Listen, it doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Namibia obviously got the better of South Africa in those initial installments of this COSAFA tournament, but that has since changed, and a big moment for South Africa to stamp their authority once more to make it 6, just like Zimbabwe and Zambia.
Well, it was a big moment for William Shongo to stamp his authority as a true talent in commentary and as an interviewer this time around as he spoke to their coaches earlier.
I'm sweating. Coach, thanks for having you in this event. But tell me something. After the disappointment of the qualifications of the Nations Cup, you must be excited that there's another moment for you to redeem yourself with the COSAFA Cup.
Yeah, Kulket, it was difficult preparing the players mentally after the loss, but it's their chance now to show Maswati that they are ready for the COSAFA tournament and redeem themselves.
Challenges, of course, from what I've picked up in the past, is that in front of goal, the team seems to be struggling. What have you changed?
We're working on the offensive drills. I think they will perform better today.
Yes. One more that I would like to know as well is what's the spirit in the camp? What is the one thing that you as a coach would like to see in this cup?
The fact that the players were doing well in this tournament, motivated, they are self-motivated.
The COSAFA is one competition that Eswatini seems to raise their game just about all the season that I've seen them play. Is it going to be the same this season?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're expecting, and we're grateful for the organizers of this tournament because a lot of talents are being, what can I say? That's why we see a good talent from our young players.
Coach, sikufisela lokuhle. Good luck.
Siyabonga kakhulu Shong.
Mr. Mpote, the coach of the Zebras of Botswana, is here with me. Coach, 3 seasons now at the helm. What would you expect coming up from the Kingdom of Eswatini?
Willie, I will always respect Coach Kunele and the boys because, when we meet them, there's always that fireworks. And we will try, to give our best and continue dominating them, even if at the rankings, we are just behind them. And we prepared ourselves knowing that we are facing, a hunger team, hunger boys, and I think we are determined to come and try to do our best and win the game, because that will help us to progress. And playing 2 or 3 games, the 4th game, your boys are ready to compete for AFCON World Cup is coming November, and that will give us a bit of how we can best do during those the competitions.
Coach, thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Will.
The Kingdom of the Zulu opens its doors to Southern Africa, where battles to crown the regional kings begin at the King's Wellinton Stadium, where Eswatini take on Botswana.
May I ask you to please remain standing for the national anthem of Eswatini.
I'll tell you what, thankfully there is a bit of a crowd that is forming up top of your picture. More and more numbers adding up as the football, gets underway here. We are done with the national anthems. It's Eswatini against Botswana. If you are just joining us, Sizwe Mabena alongside William Shongwe as we prepare to go through the, starting 11s with both these nations in a tough group and both looking to have the perfect start by hopefully hitting the ground running in this match.
Botswana, of course, have been to the finals a number of times, twice if I'm not mistaken, and Eswatini has only been to the semi-finals and coming up with bronze twice as well. So there's a lot for Eswatini to go forward and try and win something to at least get into that sport where they've been to the final at least.
Now, looking at Eswatini here, it'll be interesting seeing the three they do have up front in Mamba and Zinisa as well as Bongwa. Creatively, though, they looks to the likes of Mkonto to keep things together in midfield.
The spear of the nation right at the top of the formation. I'm talking Nzinisa, that is Sabelo. Behind him is Mkonto, who obviously will be picking up the pieces. But yes, great speed on either wings with Fanelo Mamba and Matsebula. And the strength of Mkanaze and experience at the back, very key.
Well, what will be key is the midfield battle in this particular encounter. We saw it's three in midfield for Eswatini. Tell you what, for the men in the sky blue and white, that being Botswana, three in midfield as well. And the likes of the Mudingwani and Babaya will look to dominate that midfield battle.
You're leaving out the big man, obviously. I think he's easy to notice because of his hair. Yep. And very defensive, but aerially can add a lot of very set pieces also defensively against the Botswana.
Well, that's how they will line up.
As we look into the information as well, the ever-present Mongolo and Velapi on the two full-back position, obviously looking to go up with every given opportunity. Hamanyane on the wide right. Believe it or not, he's troublesome.
Looking to have a good game will be the officials from Malawi, Zambia, as well as Mozambique. Nuts, of course, getting Mauritius as well. In Patrice Malizar, the first official in this encounter. The main referee, of course, is Mr. Kananga from Malawi, Tyrell Niranga from Zambia, and of course, let's not forget Mr. Baloi from Mozambique. Now, you had the pleasure of speaking to both coaches, having a bit of a feel of them leading up to the match. What did you get from them?
You know, I think, like I said, in as far as Eswatini is concerned, it's redemption time. And a very disappointing campaign in the Nations Cup qualifier. Unlike Mpote, who obviously came with a big win against Libya at home in his last game, though he's not going to be qualifying for the Nations Cup going forward. But it's a good sport to be in.
Tell you what, it's Eswatini in the all-white then to attack the goal to the right of your picture. Botswana in their traditional sky blue and white will attack the left. So if you are familiar with these nations, you'll know that on a good day, they can serve up a very good game of football here. And, for Botswana, as Shonga mentioned earlier, they've been there, done it before. For Eswatini, never gotten further than a semi-final berth. Their best showing has always been a bronze. Twice they've gotten bronze in the COSAFA Cup tournaments. But both will be looking here for a great start, knowing that the likes of South Africa still lie in wait.
here is the thing again. I think which maybe can work to the advantage of either of the two teams. I mean, there's no quarterfinal sports. You just have to win two and draw one, and you're already into the semis. And I think that's why it's so key that you can't wait for the second or third game. You got to open it up right from the beginning to push forward.
Also, the weather is a bit of a talking point here. Upon our arrival in Germany yesterday, it certainly was. We'll get to that in a moment as the ball is played in. Oh, what a chance! That's a great chance. Lovely ball right between the two defenders, and that is a clear-cut chance of goal. Should be doing much better.
Clarifang, one player in that striking force that is coming on very beautifully for Botswana, scoring goals every now and then. It's a good hanger for a cross, and he's in the center in between the two defenders, unmarked, and he just needed to direct that ball into the target, and Botswana would have been a goal ahead.
Well, it would have been a minute and a half, or under a minute and a half to get the goals going at the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. And, well, we couldn't have hoped for a better start from a goal scoring point of view. But I'll tell you what, it's encouraging for Botswana, who look to push forward once again then. Talifang, the man who plays for Security Systems, with a great opening chance, nice and early, and maybe a sign of things to come.
It doesn't get any better than that as far as an opportunity. I mean, if you get that opportunity and you're on mark, you just need to be calm and just head it in the right direction. I don't think, Goal would have had a chance. I mean, it's like a zero reaction time he would have been given.
Also, for Eswatini, a bit of a concern. The quality of the balls that has the potential to come from this left side has already been put out there for them to note. Also, Botswana now seem to have hit the ground running. They are spreading it about quite nicely.
The lack of pressure on the crosser of the ball was one problem, but also not being able to pick up the men in the box. I mean, that for me is a crime in football at this level.
Of course, we are moving to what will be a very busy period for the COSAFA region as Eswatini now push forward after that far side. Great movement of the ball there. Three getting in the box already. A first or fourth lurking outside. Strong play needed here. Lovely play, keeping it alive. Then in the end, a sensible work in defense, but something to work with for the likes of Vanelo Mamba from Eswatini.
Only 21 years. I'm talking about Kwake Twala, who's been pushed a little bit forward into the center of the midfield. A quality player. He plays as a left full back under normal circumstances, but today has been pushed into the middle because of his ability on the ball and going forward, and he delivers a decent cross.
The Babani Swallows men operating out wide on that left side. That's when Eswatini are pushing forward. Tell you what, there is a figure you need to keep an eye on here in the early 5 minutes. It may not last beyond that, but early stages, there is a man that is standing out and just trying to put his foot on the ball and dictate matters. Wearing the number 18 on his back. It's
Indeed, but missing alongside Titsele in that middle is Motusi Cooper, who always partners him as the two central midfielders. But Motusi is not available for this game. He's out in Cape Town with Cape Town Spurs being assessed.
We have seen a lot of the nations, in as far as COSAFA is concerned, the COSAFA region coming through and spending a lot of time here in South Africa, and not just that, having a great influence in the South African local game, so to speak. Namibia having a great last 10 years. Botswana's had their moments 15 years ago where players came through and really rocked the PSL, and they had a great generation then. The Namibians really have enjoyed the last 10 years. Eswatini as well, the likes of Tony Tabes, 10 years gone by.
Indeed. The Clock were obviously not a part of this squad as well. We hear from SuperSport he'll be joining Kaizer Chiefs, so and he's another that has made a big impact from Botswana. Yes, a great opportunity. I'm telling you, scouts are here to be able to spot these players. And in the case of Motusi Cooper, the invitation came a little bit early. That's why I couldn't make it.
No. Looks like some William Shonga can make it on late notice. No one's got an excuse not to come.
Hey, I might surprise you, eh? So don't tempt me.
Now, Botswana, if you are just joining us, the game that's now evening out quite nicely in the contest between these two. Nice work in defense here on this near side for Eswatini. Nkonta taking no chances.
The captain, of course, the right full back. And I think if there's one issue about, beside the lack of goals for this team, is the lapses of concentration every now and then, like we saw in that early minute of the game. That for me was what the coach is always lamenting about. If they can hold the opposition at least for the first 20 minutes or so, then he thinks he has a chance. But they nearly conceded.
When we have a time when we were fortunate enough, some of us, to be down in Eswatini late last year for the under 17 AFCON qualifiers from a COSAFA point of view. Back to that in a moment. Now, Eswatini, that's lovely skill, eliminates one, looks to set it up for teammates. In the end, they had numbers back with one offensively, and a positive moment, the best yet for Eswatini.
Indeed, the quality of the cross could have been better. Yes, maybe hit hard to an extent that Nzilisa couldn't quite bring it under control quick enough. But yes, defensively, Botswana, you got to give it to them. I think they defended that area well.
Very quick to get numbers in the box. We always will see coaches, fans having their hearts in their throats as soon as a man is beaten inside the box. That was the case, but still not very many options for the pass. So no openings for a clear-cut chance at goal or for the shot. It was nicely done from a defensive point of view when it looked as though they were very much in a backs against the wall type of situation.
Maybe another view could have been that the back or the cut back could have been way better. Maybe the players coming through from the middle would have been the best option, unlike targeting the striker in the center.
Great point. Now, space in midfield here for Botswana. They did say they're amongst those pushing forward now. That's an important challenge in a few, maybe one or two, out in the stands hoping for a possible set piece on the edge of the box. It was a clean challenge. Nice skill here by time, space, good movement, lovely creativity with the ball over the top. Keeper wise to what's going on around him.
Very alert, off his line very quickly, and which is where goalkeepers come in handy to help the defenders with through balls of this nature. A goalkeeper has got to be alert just all the time to pick up those moments.
Just joining us here as we let's conclude the opening 10 minutes. It's a nice start. We've seen chances and moments, good moments on either side of the field. We've seen good duels throughout the field as well. Both sides looking to get into the front foot. And it's a good start to this game. So if you're looking for a reason to maybe just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself some football from a Southern African type of view, or flavor, if you will, I suggest you get warm and enjoy what we've started enjoying over the last 9 minutes.
Credit to the organizers of the tournament. I'm thinking from the time when it started, it took Botswana and Eswatini about 3 seasons because they could win their first game. But now,
competitive.
So that has changed slightly now. Some of these teams can even go all the way to the final. But yes, it's the big guns that are coming up. Makes me wonder.
And who would have thought we were saying the big guns, including Namibia in this, yeah? So how far we've come over the last, 20 years? Over 20 years now? As a region?
This is the 22nd edition, by the way. And 26 years from when it started in 1997. That's a long time ago.
Botswana spoke of that generation, and they remember that great generation that was the first to qualify from the qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations throughout the continent. That really raised an eyebrow. Wow, have Botswana come that far forward that quickly? And that out of all the nations looking to qualify, they're the first qualifying for an AFCON.
Which is, once again, credit to the organizing committee of the COSAFA region for giving these countries the opportunity to play at this level, giving them a chance to grow. We didn't have these privileges during our time. Hardly did we play international games.
Now, we have to clear it up for those that maybe listening to myself and Shonga working for the first time. When he says during our time, Speaking of his time alone, there's a huge age difference. You ever seen it?
Every now and then I forget that, by the way,
So they're thinking it's our time together, you know.
I come from another generation.
Let's put it this way, there was black and white TV when Willie was talking about his time.
Don't I?
White color in my time.
Listen, I feel so bad every now and then when I see an old man saying, I used to watch you when I was still at school in a black and white TV. I'm like, when was that?
Now, chance here. Oh, the goalkeeper, Jack, stay down. They just dropped for just a moment defensively there. And sharp play defensively from Zamini. And the likes of Chilean in your picture a moment ago can breathe again for Shaw. And got himself in a situation I do respect to Telefang where he had to go at it 50-50, but great goalkeeping.
Great goalkeeping up. Another moment where he realized the danger and came out and made himself big in front of the striker. Yes, a temporary lapse of concentration. That is the problem that the coach often speaks about, that sometimes the mistakes that they make are glaring.
It's hard to see at which point the problem starts. There's a little bounce and there's a big problem out of nowhere.
The only concern that I would have is that maybe the captain had him onside, because the defensive line, the central two defenders, seems to have left him to stray offside, but the fullback had him onside.
Well, both men had to be brave, and Lamini very much commented that he found nothing wrong with looking to keep the pressure on the goalkeeper. That's what you want to see as coach, but the good news here is both will be able to continue by the look of it. Nice to see Talifang on his feet, but just now away Dlamini. And of course, we'll give him as long as he needs as the goalkeeper to sort himself out, if you will, or get sorted out.
But maybe not to worry too much, because that position has two reliable goalkeepers that's on standby to be able to come in. There's Olane Gama, who's making his first entry into the national team, of course, this season, having won the championship with Green Mamba of Eswatini, a youngster who just broke through the senior ranks about 3 seasons ago at only 18 years. And there's then Sandanezwe, who's the other goalkeeper, also very experienced. So at least that position seems to be well covered. Decent game he had against Togo is Namis Dlamini. Score could have been worse.
Should this come to worse, then all of those keepers aren't available. There's a last ditch chance. That's what we could take if the organizers would allow. Great goalkeeper sitting up in commentary from Eswatini. William Shong played the Chiefs, Pirates, and the national team back in the day. All of the big sides in as far as Eswatini and South Africa. Now, chance here won't fall for Botswana. Again, Eswatini able to play it off from the back, but going nowhere slowly. Putting the defensive work is Lizo Square. Oh, well, in fact, he doesn't have a club, and this is what's always interesting for the COSAFA Cup over the years when you've covered it as long as we have Shangwe. Every now and then, it doesn't happen so much these days, but every now and then you come across a team list where you look at the name, try to look up the club a player plays for, and it says unattached. Great place to come and showcase your skills and try and get the mini scouts to notice you out here.
It's a good window.
Yeah.
And if he goes on and performs this well, and these games are televised, it's easy to get that call.
Yeah, no question about it. No intention to play the ball. Big, strong, competitive is a Talifang. Ball in. Won't cause problems. Remember being out in Eswatini late last year for the under-17 COSAFA Afghan qualifiers. And speaking of scouts, see a couple of gentlemen I saw throughout the tournament sitting in front of commentary. Eventually we ended up having a conversation during the 1.5 time break. So I asked them where you're from, and they were representing both. The scouts from Italy were representing 5 clubs together from Italy, so they're only reporting back to those 5 clubs from an under 17 point of view, just what COSAFA had to offer.
At the top of it all is, of course, Madam Sue.
Yeah.
She's pulling the strings, and she's been able to get it all together on a continuous pace. Amazing.
Then Malawi as well, the schools championships towards the end of last year, we look forward to all of that going forward, of course. Now, possession here, Botswana, it's no surprise to see with the lion's share of a ball possession, they've been able to hold on to it inside the opposition half and do what they're doing now, just string together the passes and keep the opponents chasing.
Which the other problem, which I may call it, or a challenge for Eswatini, is the team that is unable to hold too much onto the ball.
Good luck, could be a chance still! Oh, lovely challenge! Lovely challenge. Yes, this one's gone. Those that love the sweet art of defending will love the timing of this challenge, especially when you consider it's a full tilt and in the box.
Square was looking for the opportunity to just drill that ball across, and it is obviously Twala, who's all over the place now, defending on the right hand side of the fullback.
Now, they're landing in the middle of the park here. Again, some of the moments here, not like chances necessarily, but moments are happening possibly slightly in favor of Botswana here inside the opening 20. Here they are with the throw in taken quickly. Now, just slightly overcooked. Also, that was on the 17 championships. One got to see one bright aspect of what's to come from a Southern African point of view in the next 5 or so years. Once those youngsters do graduate, under 17 last year, they'll be under 18 this year, and so on and so on. I'll tell you this, to mention Eswatini, who were host last year, many were expecting them in a very tough group to be the whipping boys. They ended up playing some lovely football. Can't wait to see what those youngsters look like in about 5 or 6 or 7 years. Now, good movement. Good touch as well. The option always there on this near side, and twice in the box. Yes, the defense was able to deal with it, but just putting wishes that they're a bit more assertive.
The impact of Square on the left-hand side, the number 11, has really been of great benefit because it's the most effective channel of the two for Botswana. He's been breaking out, he's been found with a long pass, also through combination play, and he's continued to deliver it into the box, which drags the midfielders so far back to defend, and which takes the moments for Eswatini to go for it because they are being caught so deep in their own half.
Botswana have dominated. Also, as the years go by and we see this region continue to move things along at a pace no other region, whether it's COSAFA or anywhere else on the continent, the north, the east, centrally, no other region is as busy as the southern parts of the continent. But look at the stature of the players now. When you think Botswana 15 years ago, when you think Eswatini 15 years ago, it would have been smaller, maybe thinner players physically. Instead, trying to say that respectfully, now they really just fill out and can't necessarily see the difference between them physically and the opponents at times of AFCON qualifiers, depending on whether the opponents are from the east or west. You get me?
I'm with you completely. But now, here's the most interesting one. You might have been there doing Soccer Africa, the show, when the Zambians were building up their under 17.
Yeah.
And the success of this Zambian team is from the growth from that time. And this is what most teams should appreciate these tournaments and do the right thing. And obviously not rush to just want to win, but do the right thing by bringing the right edges so that these players will have the opportunity to grow. I mean, the success of Zambia right now, people are surprised. They've been on the build-up for the longest, and this is the fruit of it.
I saw the under-17s last year. Scary.
Great generation.
Scary.
That's
That kind
another.
of-
That's
yeah,
another
scary,
wave.
scary,
That's another
scary.
wave that's coming up.
Yeah. Now, time, space in the middle of the park to keep it moving here for Mamba. Movement off the ball is just individual battles in the middle of the park at times. Botswana able to slow down and sort of frustrate them.
A bit more confidence on the ball, I think, will do a lot of good for the defensive part of the Swaziland play, because they're forced to play that ball forward, sometimes unnecessarily so, because of a little bit of pressure, where you could use the rotation of the ball just to minus 1 or 2 players to get into the attacking third with a bit of productive play. That's Waka. 21 years, and it's been since around 18 years.
Yep. Ball in near post, there's a flat! Oh, it's beautifully done! Lovely assist and arriving then on the blind side. With nobody picking up. All he had to do was keep it on target, and it's Botswana that deservedly take the lead through the center.
Clearly defensive lapses. You have a player inside the 6 yards area unmarked. Obviously, I think it was clever Titele by coming from deep, unnoticed, but it's called ball watching from a defensive point of view from Eswatini. There's nothing Namiso could do from that range.
Well, we mentioned him earlier in the opening 5-10 minutes. There he is coasting in there. Well, all he had to do was just put it away from the keeper. He wasn't sure to go.
The flick as well, I think, was where the biggest challenge was. You can't allow the balls to be flicked in your own box by the opposition, and great quality play by Botswana to create that opportunity. There's good understanding between these players.
So, first goal of the 2023 HOLLYWOODBETS COSAFA Cup is scored after 23 minutes of the first game here at the King's Wellington Stadium. And as it said, to open the scoring, we hope for plenty more goals as we go through what should be a lot of football over the next couple of weeks. Speaking of this, we've got a problem here.
I'm not sure. It's a collision against with Sabelo, the striker. The ball rolls away. It's a stretch by Sabelo. Didn't seem like much, but seems to have gotten the top of his foot, or was it collision around the knee area? I'm not sure.
Well, tell you what, by the look of it, isn't a lot of pain here. You know, they say, I get to the guy gets down when you don't quite know what to do with yourself. Sit still, roll around, though. He's going through all of those emotions all together. It's just scored, if you're just joining us, a minute or so ago. So we'll be hoping the lone goal scorer so far in this year's tournament can get up and continue to influence things in the middle of the park. But so far, tell you what, he does look to be in a considerable amount of pain.
And the ref obviously is trying to help the medical team to see if they can get him out of the field so that the game can continue.
So, it starts, and all the signs of this at the opening 5 that look, maybe there could be a problem in the middle of the park. This is where the goal eventually comes from, and the dominance for Botswana. But 25 minutes in, midway through the first half, and it's Eswatini that now need to find a way to compete in this match. And he's claiming his innocence here. Late with the challenge is the Botswana captain. Mangola plays for Eswatini Galaxy.
Yeah, Sabelo got a smack in the face. I think it was nothing intentionally by the captain. It's a question of when you turn, you get your hands up there, and Sabelo happened to be running behind him.
Now, chance here to possibly find an equalizer. Haven't had too many set pieces in and around the final third. Eswatini. So, big man push forward, ball in. Needed to be dealt with defensively, not only at the first, but at the second and a half time of us, if you will. Also, have found the conditions, which I touched on earlier, but we never got to elaborate on that. Rather interesting upon our arrival yesterday evening, at around about this time for you and I, Sean. It was a chilly Durban, which came as a bit of a surprise for us. We were hoping for better weather than what we experienced out in Gauteng. Wake up this morning, it was pretty much the same as yesterday, and the tournament gets underway under these conditions, encouraging good, hard-running football out there. The colder it is, the harder you work. Stay warm.
Indeed. At the same time, it helps just maintain the tempo of the game a lot longer because you're not losing so much water through sweat.
Now, again, it's Eswatini with another set piece, just outside of the final third or on the edge of it, if you will. Straight down the middle, these are always difficult, especially with the distance. Is that a bit of a tester?
You've got to find a little bit of width before the ball can be played in. So Fanelo could be the option, and I'm sure he's on that left-hand side. Wow.
From that range, those are going to take something extremely special to firstly trouble the Botswana goalkeeper, Malipela.
In fact, you know, when you'll see him for the first time, you'll think very ambitious. But let me tell you, he's one of the best shooters of the ball from the Kingdom of Eswatini. When it comes to set pieces, he's the go-to man. And unfortunately, through open play, those type of opportunities has not been created. But if he gets one, I'm telling you, you'll be talking about it till end of this tournament.
Another ball in there. Four inside the box. There were three towards that far post. Loving the work they're doing out wide on this left side whenever they do have a chance to whoop in the deliveries. This time with his right foot, finds the teammate, and yet another chance for Botswana, yet another cross, but this time it was the right-footed cross that came in from Speia.
Khamanyane anticipate, he plays wide on the right, but anticipate the action, so he drops a little bit closer to the center, and once again, defenders unable to track him down. That for me is horrible defending.
The goal that came from across from the far side. For the most part, the most menacing crosses have come from this near side. When those deliveries do go in there, that's why you do have problems. Quality is key, of course, for those crosses coming in. I mentioned the size of this Botswana side. It works for them, that strategy. Going wide and playing it in.
Yeah.
And this is another aspect of the Botswana game I'm enjoying a lot, the hassle. When they don't have the ball, how hard they're working to deny Eswatini any rhythm whatsoever.
Unlike Eswatini, when Botswana has the ball defensively, they don't seem to apply the high press. But for Botswana, this of course happens because Botswana is always on the front foot with build-up play. So when you play with build-up, it means you will always have numbers where the ball is. And they end up with that number of players in attack because of their build-up. And they are able to apply the high press thereafter immediately when they lose the ball.
So we've had a half an hour of a play go by here at the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup of the year 2023. Eswatini, again looking for their best chance in this game so far. Lovely work, good as you like, under a bit of pressure in trying to work it out with danger air.
Guys, moments. Every now and then that looks very positive, but they are impetuous.
Yep. And I think it shows the right word. Whereas there have been chances here and there for Botswana, Eswatini at best have had moments of encouragement. Not necessarily translated chances, but moments of excitement. That's good work. Now, 3 in the box, and there's a major difference between these two sides so far.
A rush of blood into the head of Mamba. He normally operates on the left-hand side, and I think he struggles with the right foot when he comes on this side. He plays as an inverted wing at the moment, which means that when he gets into the byline, you'll have challenges trying to cross the ball.
Plays for Young Buffaloes. A point of interest here with both these nations, which may come as a bit of a surprise for many of you that follow football in the region. Over the years, there's always been 1 or 2 players that play for either Botswana and Eswatini, especially when they put their best foot forward, that play in the Premiership, the TSTV Premiership, as it's known now. I'm proud to tell you, and maybe out of Botswana and Eswatini, they'll be proud to point this out as well. But all the players in this field and on the bench currently play for in the national leagues.
Once again, look at the high press. Eswatini can't come out.
That's Daniel on the near side. Good movement off the ball, and the vision isn't bad. The only question is, was there an off the ball incident then? Now, Botswana will be happy to just keep this lead into the half-time break. Still quite a little time, or a lot of time I should say, between now and then. Well, first one in here, the encouraging factor, maybe the fact that they are still very much in it, with Botswana only having scored the 1 goal. All is far from lost for Eswatini. Now, there's a challenge going from midfield through, or from defense through midfield and working it up the field has been a major challenge for Eswatini. Space to turn, yeah, that's a lovely pass, and the half opportunity then, but again, creatively, Sandy said again, that's causing problems. Here he is.
The one sitting in that number 6 position is Motingwane, of course, and with Ditsele giving the permission to now and then unlock and push forward, it was working very well.
Now, again to try and find the teammates. Get the feeling they're just lacking that quality in the last ball or around the final third, Eswatini, before they start to possibly ask questions of the Botswana goalkeeper. Now, nicely done. And keeping an eye on the man, then beating him to the punch, not once but twice now. And that's an interesting duel that's been won by the defender between those two. Middle of the park here, with a chance to move it out wide is Fanelo Mamba. That's nicely done. Can they get quality in the ball in? Well, it's not a bad ball. Calm in defense, Botswana.
With the ball being played from the wide left, Mamba, who was supposed to attack the box from the far side, came very late. That's the difference between Eswatini and Botswana. For Botswana's crosses, there's always players to attack the ball in the box. Mamba's throw.
When they are big and strong and aerially, they've really dominated Eswatini and Botswana in this match. Going into the last 10 minutes of what has been a enjoyable, watchable first half of football between these two nations. Of course, this venue is the one that has gone through changes over the years. Additionally, one of my favorite venues to come through in a city that's got quite a number of them. Chatsworth, Eswatini, Mozambique, there are so many others to experience and enjoy in the KwaZulu-Natal area, or in Durban I should say to be exact, this venue. Best part is when it is completely full out in the far grandstand and there's no space for anyone to come in. Trees just outside of the perimeter. We'll see people climbing those trees to, of course, have a nice view into the stadium to watch the football. Yeah, on that sort of day, it's a completely fun day to be down at this venue. Now, well, the post went in. So, all going according to plan here for Botswana, approaching the last 5 minutes. What they would love is to extend that lead before the half-time break. They have a chance to do so now. Passes being strung together, especially with enough numbers back defensively. That's when they do well to try and get use the width of the field.
I think to that extent, Botswana has been brilliant. They switch the ball from left to right channel. They create on the one side and switch the ball beautifully to the other. And I think there's good understanding, because where they switch the ball, there's always presence of the sky blue shirts. That's another pressing moment that went successful for Botswana.
Of course, you look around now, we'll find a few players from a South African point of view that are playing. I think a couple of them out in Botswana. Sisomiyeni is one of them. A legend to many out of Pirates in his time at Goodness Vets. Currently playing out in Botswana. He won promotion this team most recently in the last season. And of course, one would see that as another giant step for football in Southern Africa, when even those that are as great as really move down to Botswana and other nations to help uplift the leagues there.
Botswana has been growing. They're actually importing a lot of players from the other surrounding countries in the region, mainly from Namibia. And of course, it's like a passageway for those players from Namibia. They first feature there and get noticed, and then eventually come to South Africa.
Now, numbers getting in the box here. Problem when they do have it. Botswana with Square, he can catch you on the outside, he can catch you on the inside. So you're never quite sure how to deal with him. Here he is. Again, looking to be involved in all things beautiful about the creative side of Botswana's game.
What I've observed as well is the ability to cross with his left, and also, like you say, like to cut to the inside. He can play as inverted, which is very difficult for a defender because you never guess which way it's going to take.
Now, bit of space here on the near side. Can they get it right just this one time here? That's what they need, they very nearly did. All it takes is one chance before that halftime break in. It could completely change the outlook of that halftime chat.
It's that time of the game,
Yeah.
Mapena, whereby I think Botswana with that lead will have the opportunity just to calm the game down a little bit, just to control. It's always so key to end up the half on a high note in as far as conserving the lead that they created.
Miles out there. Good competitive game if you're just joining us. Again, all it takes is one moment. Numbers push forward here for Eswatini. Throwing here, they'll be hoping to use as well as the corner. 6, they've got in there. Everybody back defending for Botswana. All the big men are in there. All it takes is one. Now, near post. We really have big men that are confident in the air. Do Botswana. Now the ball played in towards that far post, and they'll keep the pressure on here. The shot eventually coming in. Better from Eswatini.
That's the danger man. He's the midfielder, but because of his ability to shoot from range, he's been placed a little bit higher, but naturally drops a little bit deep. And he picks up here. He thinks one way. If he can get some man another way, he's going to take a shot. His time, unfortunately, not on target. I want to tell you about that number 20 in the defense of Botswana. I think he made his debut last season in this very tournament for Botswana, and he's grown in leaps and bounds. He's become the main man. If the likes of the clock are not there, he keeps that position. There's another defender, Haulele. He's also, that boy is kind of come on top of him, and is now the main man.
Numbers are swelling out in the stands.
That's a big word to use.
What's swelling?
Not yet. It's trickling. Please. We know in the next game, definitely, the numbers are going to swell, but not yet. Don't rush it.
Tell you why I say so, Showman. When we went live at the start of the afternoon at 3, for those that are just joining us now, what we had then and now is different. So from that point of view, yes, but I know what you mean as well. I agree, yes. By 5 o'clock it should be interesting. And again, if you are just joining us by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this evening, it will be even more interesting if you haven't heard the news as yet. The 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup underway. Now, chance! Flags up! One down. That's a winning moment.
Let me tell you, if he gets it right, then he must have had the best view to be able to pick it. Because for me, I would have easily accepted. And it happened. I mean, there was just a number of players. It'll be nice just to see a slightly different angle.
Yeah, and this ends up at the goalkeeper's arms, but the way that ball easily just went through the spine of the squad, at times may be a source of concern. Again, if you're just finding out about this tournament getting underway today and you see those numbers and you're wondering why they are going to swell by later on this afternoon or early evening, it's because there's a big one later. There's a huge one later in concluding the group. South Africa in action against Namibia. Two minutes. Added on to the end of what's been a good first half here for Botswana. Maybe a few moments of concerns towards the end of the half for them. Last 5 or so minutes. That's what they beginning to see more of it in these sort of areas. Do more with it. That's where the concern may come in from a Botswana point of view. Now, the probe. There's a chance! Oh, he's missed it! They did so well. They were so patient in creating the opening then. And they got nothing but air at the point when it looked as though it should be 1-1 at the very least. There's a shot in range. That's so much better from Eswatini. So much better over the last 5.
It's from the same man that I mentioned that. When he gets the ball in that kind of area, he thinks one way to shoot. But that build-up probably was one of the best moves that they were able to create. A little bit of accumulation in the center, ping that ball wide, and the ball is crossed into the box. Still trying to work it out. Who it was that missed it completely.
Tell you what, from what we heard just from the stands here below our commentary, it seems as though Eswatini do have a few supporters out there, which will come as no surprise.
Just in case you're not aware of what the situation is in this game. At high quality football for free. I think that's, please.
Huge wins.
Just, if in case you're still at home, yes, it's nice because it's a little bit of warmth, but listen, being in the venue is the best. So we do invite you, do join us in the next game.
Now, end of the first 45 minutes of this year's HOLLYWOODBETS COSAFA Cup, and it's Botswana. They take the lead into the half-time break. They started off, they played well, but they'll be concerned about the way that half ended, John.
Listen, a lot of improvements from Eswatini. Nice build-up plays. A little bit more into the attacking third, a bit more offensive, and it looks very, very positive. They've kept Botswana with the back foot in the last 10 or so minutes, so it looks very positive.
So, end of the first half, yeah, we'll have this side making the major difference after 23, with Botswana leading Eswatini by a goal to nil. One, two, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, half-time here at the Kings Wellington Stadium. It's Eswatini up against Botswana. And I'll tell you what, one player that's had a good half is Ditele. It's not just about the goal he scored, just all round. Good game of football in the opening 35 minutes.
I don't think it's only the goal that we really enjoyed. I mean, Botswana created numerous chances that I think if we were to count all of them, Botswana should be up 3 goals. But it was just through poor finishing that they didn't see themselves. Look at this flick here. That's how the goal came. Very easy, very basic. Just a bit of covering would have done the trick, but a lot of ball watching in the box. That's the cost of it.
Nicely done here with the flick on. One has to appreciate that in the assist that comes in this goal.
Khalifang is the player obviously that does the flick. I think the attention for the defenders onto him such that it releases the other players around him. That's understanding when you're playing with a top man.
Now, is the top man when it comes to the art of crossing a ball. Lovely chance this for Botswana.
Now, the defenders have been dragged to follow the striker, Khalifang. And in the process, the defenders are stretched. But a good understanding from Khamanyan, who saw the moment and dropped a little bit narrow to be able to finish that. Unluckily, he misses.
Well, the numbers don't lie, and they'll tell us the story here. That was interesting is it's just the one on target for Botswana, and that's the difference in even the scoreline.
Unbelievable. If you look at the number of chances created, they should have had more on target because they were missing. But Eswatini, that's the problem I talk about to the coach, is that 0 shots on target. That continues to be the problem.
Well, they'll be hoping to start the second half as well as they ended the first half. Eswatini with a great last 5 here. And the numbers continue to grow out in the stands here at the Kings Wellington Stadium. We're off with a break, coming back for the second half on the other side of this. It's, well, a game that goes into the second half now in the next few moments with Botswana leading by a goal to nil here and starting off on the opening day of the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup here. Botswana, well, they'll have loved the first 35 minutes, whilst for Eswatini, the last 10 minutes will be of interest for them. They'll want to pick up where they left off in that last 5, where they really had a good go and at their best moments of the match so far.
If there was a talk, an encouraging talk, it will have been from that point of base from Eswatini. But for Botswana, in total control for the best part of that first half, and if anything, they should have scored a whole lot more, except for their poor finishing is what let them down.
Well, interesting. In well, moments of this nature, when one nation will hope, of course, come out of the halftime break to witness a great comeback that may just turn things around here. And you have to wonder if that is the turning point, or if this is the turning point for Eswatini, or whether it's Botswana that through their coach Dominique, or rather through their coach Mpote, will come out here and just pull away in as far as the scoreline and make a real statement in starting this tournament.
For as long as it remains like this, Eswatini will think they have a big chance, which they have if they'll continue with the performance we saw towards the end of the half. More like it.
Better pace, better movement off the ball, quicker to get numbers inside the box, and winning themselves a few set pieces now around that final third. I say now, this is the first of the second half, but to remember, there were 2 or 3 towards the end of the first half as well.
If only they could maintain what we've just seen now. I'm thinking, is this the same team that we saw in our first half? Incredible, nice touches, very confident, got movement of the ball, progressive play, constructive.
Well, they've got the set piece. With the numbers in there, Paul is played in. Good numbers back defensively for Botswana. Again, they really remain strong in the aerial duels.
Ball given away cheaply. But because they got numbers, they were able to press it higher and force Botswana to play it back.
Now, that's maybe not the right option. Then in the ball played forward then by Ditele. Had the option towards his near side to keep it out to the far side for that more difficult pass. Can confirm for you, no changes as yet in the starting 11s that started from both these sides right from the first half. Also been a very clean game of football, no yellow cards.
It's a tournament. It's not just once off. It's a tournament because when the yellow card starts building up, you might end up losing the high-performing players in your team.
Now, cleaning up and taking no chances defensively. Botswana, you must wonder, yeah, things are getting interesting out there. And the ball in, there's a chance! Things are certainly getting interesting out there, and it's Eswatini making all the right moves so far since the restart.
Fiso Mate, one of the defensive midfielders, a bit more central, but because of the constructive play that I was talking about, they are now able to find themselves a little bit more higher where they are a unit in that same area. Unluckily so. I'm trying to think, Siso Pena, had that fell for Nzinisa, who is clinical with his headers in those type of areas.
Also, we have to compliment the quality of the ball in on this occasion. The best we've seen from an Eswatini point of view so far in this match. There have been moments in the first where they got into great scoring, crossing positions, but the crosses never did arrive through a lack of quality. So there's an improvement there as well.
Go team, one. Step up.
And Men on the edge of the box, given away. They very quick to pick up the pieces here. And oh, there's a shot that's out of the mark. And one has to wonder what's going on. But a few concerned men out there. Eswatini are looking most likely to score next.
Now, here is a trick here. This sudden rise of movement is much as ability, because it seems to have been pushed a little bit higher, and this again comes a shot from him. Clearly, he was stuck in that middle. I think the coach made certain changes to allow a bit of flow of players into that taking day. That has helped take the action a little bit higher in the field.
As more and more people come out of work, school, if there is school now, schools are closed
No,
for the most
schools
part.
are closed.
Yeah.
Well, you can see that clearly you never
Finish your sentence, man. Please finish your sentence.
That's the best time for all parents, because they don't have to get up in the morning.
Oh,
Kids are at
I
home
see.
on holiday.
I'm not necessarily at home. You know what I mean?
I'm
But
not
I get
sure.
you. I get your point as well. Still counts. 5 minutes into the second half.
We've already seen 2 shots, though they weren't on target, but very positive once again from Eswatini. If only they could sustain this performance.
Botswana, a nation that's done it before in going all the way. Eswatini only been as far as the bronze medalist in this tournament on 2 occasions.
First time, if I'm not mistaken, it happened in Namibia, and they lost to Bafana in the semi-finals, and then they played Tanzania in the finals, or in the third place playoff, and they actually beat Tanzania, which was remarkable. It was a big statement.
Tanzania, of course, from the east, as far as the region they represent. And if you remember, a couple of editions ago, the Tanzanian women's team came through as guests and walked away winners.
And of course, in recent times, we heard Senegal as a guest country, and went to the finals, I think against Bafana, which they lost, and they beat Eswatini through their way to the finals, in the semi-finals.
Communication lines open. Has a little look around the field to make sure everybody's being picked up. It's always interesting. Should the quality be good, but it's not, so.
That's a disappointment from Kwake.
So.
For me, the player that I like, I think he's got great future at his age. Like I mentioned, only 21, and yet he's been in the national team the past 3 seasons, and featuring regular in that left fullback position. He's got a sweet left foot, the sweetest. Here's another.
I was going to say, last touch of Mamba.
He's also another long-serving member of the national squad.
Now, Botswana have got off the boil somewhat here. We wondered if for Eswatini it would be a changing point in this match. There's a half-time break, how they finished the first half and started the second, but they are looking ahead of themselves now, Botswana.
I mean, Botswana has hardly visited the taking dead. They've been kept at bay, but you know, sometimes when that happens for too long, opposition just bounces from nowhere. Finally, there's a change.
Well, waiting to come on here for Botswana. is Tiweli. Tiweli. And coming on in his place, in fact, is Tiweli.
And Square is the player that comes out.
Thank you.
I thought he was still
Good
pretty much doing well coming from the left-hand side. He's the number
Yeah.
11 that could cut into the side and also stray wide to the byline.
Talifang is midway here for Ogome. And, well, when he was getting service, he was troublesome in the first half.
Listen, he's the coach, Mr. Mpote, but this doesn't make sense for me.
Tense isn't the very best. Well, the opponent is again well defended by Eswatini. 10 minutes into the second half. Do believe there's a man down here. That's the reason why play is being held up. There he is in your picture.
Bad landing. I think that is Unzinisa, the striker.
Now, in this sort of situation, it will be a slight source of concern for Eswatini, and I'll tell you why, Sean. Firstly, Zinisa is a crucial member of the squad here. They'll be very aware of that. If he can't continue, does that mean a change in momentum, change in the direction in which the match seems to be moving? And that's towards Eswatini looking stronger and stronger as the minutes go by. But if you are to lose someone as inspirational and as telling as Zinisa,
He's one of those players that you always hope that ball gets to him because given the opportunity in front of goal, he hardly misses. It could be the goalkeeper making a save, but is that influential. He's a great finisher. He's a finisher of note.
now, Botswana having to be a little bit patient here as they look to work it from the back. The opponent's been back here. All the while numbers in and around the box awaiting the early ball in. Yeah, much like the way the in the first half ended. Wave to wave of attack and it's no final product. That's on this about 5 minutes ago. Decisions have to be made now. He looked as though he may not be able to continue. And what does that mean for Eswatini?
A big challenge. The coach will have to consider what he has on the bench to beef up the attack.
So, it's never a good sign when the player gets on one of these to leave the field. That's a medical team now that's making sure they protect him as much as possible before they take him off the field. Let's have a look at what happened here to cause a problem.
Now, if you look at the player wearing jersey number 6, the right fullback Uvelapi, he doesn't jump for the ball. And that, for me, would have been an indication to the ref to say it's a foul. And yet, it was missed. I mean, Zinisa jumps with all the intentions just to get to the ball, but he's impeded by Velapi. and he falls awkwardly, injures himself.
Well, all the experience now. They'll have to do it out as we approach the 1 hour mark here. Keep up. We need to get as much distance in this as possible. They really are backing us in the air on both of these sides. On the near side, Eswatini defending through Bonga. Matabula of Young Buffaloes.
Who has, I think, has struggled quite a bit in making headway going forward. If you think about all the players that appeared in the attack, Matabula has hardly been in existence.
Well, a change will be made, yeah. It's Eswatini that will make the change. And well, we expected this to be the case. What about the fact that Mabisela is coming on from Zinisa?
Mabelesa is a midfielder actually, so it means Mkonto will drop a little bit further forward. Remember, he played a little bit just behind Zinisa. So I think that's is more likely what we're going to see here.
So another change being made here. And it's Guebu, it'll come on. They're still getting committed to the challenges here. Now, there you have it. Still at one goal in the 23rd minute from Ditsela that separates these sides. There he is. Taking his time about things in the middle of the park as he continues to dominate the game and keep it moving, making it look easy. Is the big man, can't miss him. Green boots, blonde hair. Now, things interesting, Sean. You see the lights up and going around the township now. We're moving into nighttime. The floodlights will be coming on as well. And they'll play at different times as the competition continues. These players, some will play their matches early on in the day. And there's those that play later in the evening, such as Bafana later. Pros and cons of those times. Or is there such a thing as pros and cons for those that start off at 3 and carry on to 6? Now, again, it's free inside the box. And there's a chance now. Could be an error that, well, I took a moment might lead to a goal scoring opportunity. At the very least, numbers back are able to deal with the danger. That process now has to be around Botswana and how they look nothing like what we saw in the opening 30 minutes.
I think Eswatini is still pretty much kept Botswana at bay, except for now.
There's a ball in then, and well, it's well defended, not the very best of headers. There's a shot! A chance to extend that lead to 2-0 and quite possibly put it to bed here.
Another save from Namiso. From having had not much except picking up the ball in the first half from the back of his net. And finally, he comes alive with a brilliant, brilliant save.
Brings the crowd to life as well. And the numbers out in the main grandstand and our commentary area. And of course, why not? Yes, coach, I'm available. Andrina, don't eat, child, I'm healthy. Hold you, it works.
Yeah, this is a young man. He's not so young anymore. Don't look at his posture. But he entertains us all the time when Amazulu are playing here.
There was one in athletes in years gone by called Connie.
Calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Coley could hardly lift his foot because of his size.
Strict diet. Very strict diet. Best part, of course, about the continent, not just Southern Africa, is how colorful we are in the stands, the way we support the game. Lots of passion from a football mad continent. Now, looks like he has straight down the middle, the pass is a little heavy. Time will start to become a bit of a factor here in the last 25. At some point, they may start to think to hold on to the one-goal lead and see it home. If they haven't started to think that as yet, to being Botswana.
Yeah, along the way, I think Botswana lost the plot because they're not holding into the ball as much as they did. But clearly, one thing that was very evident for me is that Eswatini stayed too far back. They allowed too much time to Botswana to build up. And right now, since that change at the break, Eswatini has since closed the playing space for Botswana in that middle. And Botswana is struggling to come out now. I think that's where the change is. That Swaziland has found a little bit of joy in playing into that taking third.
Now, for Eswatini, they have blessed us with some names we won't be in a hurry to forget over the years. Like of your Tony Tabete, he was kept player out in Eswatini, if I remember right.
He's still just as quick as he was.
I saw him play actually a couple of years ago. Extremely quick still. That's a Phillies button most inside now. Here's a chance! Now wide, it just won't. They just can't put it to bed. Botswana.
Another chance went begging for Botswana. It's a great through ball. And it finds Hamanyane who breaks through. But, you know, he had a good idea by trying to play it a little bit wide to the left of the goalkeeper from where he was. Except for that, I think he excused his shot a little bit more than he should have. Here's the problem for Eswatini. I think because they're coming up with more build-ups, they're beginning to lose so much ball position in critical stages of the game, in their build-up stage, within their half. Mayane is obviously being played a little bit more central in the striking role, with Khalifang having gone out.
Now, Botswana can beg your pardon, as Botswana now come forward and can't find each other inside that box. That's good work on the far side, and they've won the set piece. They are looking to put up a bit of a fight now, Botswana, and maybe looking up and realizing there's still a bit of a fight left in this match, 20 minutes at least to play.
Yeah, Conte, the captain here, lets his team down by his poor first touch, and it has come at the cost of a set piece, which allows now Botswana to push some of their big players. Tetsele, one of them in that box, and Kopelang is another. So is Hamanyang.
Well defended. Pressure still on. Well, that's nicely done on the skill front. There's no time getting it in there, and well, they have to remain honest if they are to keep it at a clean sheet. Botswana. More questions coming their way.
Malapela hasn't had much trouble except a little bit of a few minutes in the beginning stages of the second half.
Now, on this near side, chance to pick up and look forward with a hopeful goal. Manana. Now, oh yeah, first one thing it does. So there wasn't any real conviction, I think, with the shots. And in the end, it's a chance that's gone up begging, I think it's safe to say.
Konto, unfortunately, you know, is one of those that once again you go bank on. Like I said, for me, after the departure of Denisa, he's pushed a little bit more central striking role, and he gets the opportunity here. Maybe it doesn't quite connect, unfortunately, but it's looking very promising. That's another promising attack that ended up nowhere. A bit more finishing ability for Eswatini, I think, could do the trick. Right now, I feel like these type of chances are not falling for them on a regular basis.
Now, another chance here. Set piece, men push forward. Bronze medalists in 2016 and 17. Looking for a good start to this tournament. There's the flick on, and there's the Botswana defense is able to deal with it. There's some work coming out their way now. Good strong play defensively, that. Good movement on this near side, lovely little touch. The first time of asking, then it was well read again by the Eswatini defense, but he is thinking outside of the box. There's that's a man, defender, really does think outside of the box. Now, then push forward here. Let's just slow them down for just a moment. There the goal, finds the teammates, can he afloat? That's the ball out wide. First touch, not very good. Love to keep it alive with the ball cut back into the box.
It's a really good job.
Mm.
These are good moments for Eswatini. Are they sustainable though?
Yep. Now, can they find an opening? Because there weren't too many passes. Yes. And begins Russian touch to the head.
No, living dangerously, Botswana. This is when you're saying you're losing grip of the game. They're allowing Eswatini to come at them with quite a bit of weight that Botswana seems to be struggling dealing with. It's a set piece in their favor.
Now, poor children, disappointing so. Had at least 7 players in the box, then 10 lift it, so it was easily dealt with. Eswatini keeping the pressure on. There's another shot, can't get through the traffic, and the follow-up looks weak. Also can't get through the traffic from a glaring point of view.
Tsele, the most attacking of the midfielders, has been forced to go so far back to defend, explaining the pressure Eswatini are creating.
Under 50 minutes remaining on the clock. This is the first of 2 games coming your way today. Later on, there's a big one. And yep, as I suspected, the numbers are slightly increasing here at the Kings Wellington Stadium. Nice catch to win it back here for the men in sky blue and white. Choosing to hold on to it here. For looking for the later on the line. Now, this comes as no surprise. In this late stage of the match, any set piece anywhere, we try and send them as far forward as possible. Try and get the drop to be in and around the box. Hang on, Botswana. They pull forward, then won't get in behind that defense. In fact, I should say, is not allowed to get in behind that defense. No. Easily done. Nicely done then in winning it back. One of the most impressive players on the field today.
Taking a breather is Botswana, appreciating this moment where they could at least have the ball in their attacking third. It's been a tough 10-15 minutes.
Could get even tougher.
It's all about staying very positive and staying focused for what remains of this game for Botswana. Maybe sometimes because of when you look at the time, you think to yourself, is it still worth it to go forward? Or must you try and recycle the ball as much as you can, keep ball possession? I think that's some of the thinking from Mbotelli coach, which is what has taken the sting off the game for Botswana.
People fans in the whites, top of the picture, all up on the feet. Just forward, get as far forward as possible. Last 10 minutes coming up. Vuvuzela, for the first time we're hearing out in the stands today.
That basically explains that.
James.
Coming up
James.
next is Bafana Bafana. And the fans are finally arriving.
So, there you have it. I mean, we're coming from Konto.
Bit of fresh legs, more than anything, I guess, from Coach Gunene. And you just never know what fresh legs can do at such a time as this.
Now, that's the turn then. Let's touch. Oh, lovely skill. Usually the two working wide till they get punchy. Pull in there. That's 10. Anyway, we'll do.
Almost the same incident that got Nzinisa injured.
So, good question here for Botswana. Have faith in the one goal you scored, just clear and keep things away from your goal, or try and play in the later stages of this match, leading by just that one goal.
Possibly huffing and puffing as well is another issue that maybe has found Botswana wanting. And you know, when you get to that situation, you just want to just get the ball away from you as quick as you can. But not realizing that when the opposition has the ball, you're going to have to work harder to try and win it back.
Now, middle of the park here, head up immediately, looking for runners then. No, this is another situation. And let's see, showing good sportsmanship in the field, knowing that he's hitting the long way out still. Come a long way from the days when coaches would on a throw in if the ball comes to him and decides to lead by 1-0, try and maybe waste time to give the ball back. Come a long way.
But fortunately, the court official is there to be able to keep the time in as far as minutes wasted. They'll all come to be added. But sometimes it's not just about wasting time. It's all about disrupting the opposition's attempts to build up a momentum.
So, they done. For MLS work the socks off. Almost there. We'll play 7.
Didn't Tibeti just came in?
Yes, he did.
Clearly, you know, the ref has the coach has decided, Mbote, that he's going to close shop. When you see such tactics, it's all about just making sure you close shop. At the expense of some players feeling let down, but as long as they understand the main issue is the team winning.
Now, under 5 minutes remaining here. Early ball in, then the clearance will fall for a man in white. Chance now at the counter. How they need to get one of these, at least one of these right. Those counter attacks with a little numbers back can explode with pace. This is what Botswana has done well for me. It's knowing how to frustrate Eswatini.
Cleared. Is there a chance for Gwake to get a hold of that ball? He swings it across the field of play to Gwebo on that far side. It comes to nothing. It's Botswana with an opportunity. Ball given away very cheaply. It's that moment there for Eswatini to try and get as much of the ball to build up to what that last ditch to get something in towards goal. The captain, Nkonta, swings one across. Goalkeeper comes out, collects comfortably. He will take his time. He needs to run that clock down as much as he can. Yes, the fire that Eswatini played with coming into the second half has since died. And it has looked very patchy, which of course has worked in favor of the Zebras. There's another opportunity. Botswana on the attack. Spraying the ball wide. Ditsele in the box. Comes to nothing, but still Botswana has possession. It's a good cross into the box. Well cleared. Clearing header. And once again, Botswana, as much as they can, they'll delay getting the ball restarted. Here's an opportunity. Can he get it in? Shoots wide.
So, that's 2 minutes remaining in this match. Botswana are looking good for a good 3-point haul in starting off the tournament. Now, early ball forward and time effector. Desperate times for Eswatini now. Bit of space on the far side. Numbers again getting into the box here. Oh, there's great numbers in there. Pull in! No! Oh, should have done much better. Should have been 1-1. Should have been 1-1. Everything right in knocking it out wide, getting numbers in the box. Quality of the ball. Oh, should have been. Every time you look at it, you see how great the chance it is. It's a good game. The man who scored the only goal of this match. Operating right in the heart of midfield is Zele. Minutes, added on to the 90. Eswatini ran into literally quite a brick wall of losing, and over that, Botswana on the counter. And the ball on the set piece in the great area. Botswana, exactly what they want here. If it's not to be that goal to clinch it, I want to spend as much time in the opposition half of the field as possible. Chances are certainly amongst those that have gone home to enjoy that football. So, ready for the strike. We look for teammates, or go for glory. No. Early ball forward. No problems in dealing with the danger anyway will do. We're literally under 10 seconds remaining on the clock here. Time. Last minute. Now, will be time for one last attack here from Eswatini. Now, under 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Then he falls in and on the blind side, there's a chance. Like, look, there's an appealing, I suspect, for a possible penalty, but for the most part, they are frustrated at the fact that I looked a great chance ended with not being a shot taken. Now, it will end this match with Botswana able to pick up the 3 points here, but we've got a bit of drama here later on in the day here with a few of the Eswatini players far from happy. Now, that is how it ends here. Seems also how it ends well. That's one goal that was scored by may very well have done the trick now. Kicks it into his arms. They're saying he handled himself. Now, looking back at the officials leaving the field here, and a good start to the 2023 HOLLYWOODBETS COSAFA Cup. It's Botswana that walk away with the 3-point haul, having beaten Namibia by a goal to nil. There you have it, full time. Eswatini, well, they stumbled right at the beginning. It's Botswana that walk away with 3 points, winning it by a goal to nil. Well, early on, yeah, it's Botswana that had great moments in the first half. Now, when they eventually were able to get the flick on, it went for a lovely opening goal. Then from the only goal of the match, but beautifully taken, beautifully created. They had moments with those crosses coming in from the left and right side when they could have extended their lead, but this was, well, nicely done in the conversion. Now, looking back at those shots that they kept creating, starts just going wide of the mark once again, and well, just wide of the mark. They got better and better towards the end. In the end is Botswana. They walk away full time with scoreline of 3-0. Have a look at the stats then, and they certainly tell us the story. And not much separating these two sides in the way of goal attempts and shots and targets. Even ball possession stats, there's very little separating these sides. So it's Botswana that walk away 1-0 winners in the end. And again, it was closer than we thought it could be in the end. So, Babuli Mchongazona from Coventry is down on the side of the field, waiting to speak to both coaches.
Here with the president of Malawian football is here to present the award to Titsele, who was nominated man of the match between the game of Botswana and the Kingdom of Eswatini. Where do you think you're going? Well done. A tough game. Yes, great goal in that first half, and I thought you were running away with it, but second half, way too different. What happened?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my God and my teammates. But you know that those guys, they were coming second half. Now, we must settle and play our game. It was not easy. They come to us because they know that they wanted goal. Us, we wanted to settle. If we win 1-0, it's okay. But we said, even our coach said, no, guys, let's go and play our football. Let's not kick the ball forward. That is what we are doing now.
Well done, because that second half performance, you could see that you were choking, but you guys at least hold your ground and continue to be disciplined defensively.
Yeah, like I said, it was not easy because they were coming. Now I must come and defend and go forward and attack. That is what I must do as a senior player.
Titsele, well done. Congratulations for man of the match.
Thank you so much.
And Now I've got the coach of Eswatini, Dominic Dunene, and coach, not the type of result, but I'm sure you must be happy with the performance.
Yeah, there's no way you can be happy if the results were bad, Shong. But I think we allowed a simple call, making the game difficult for us. But we came back and created better chances. Unfortunately, we couldn't convert. But overall performance, we tried our best. Even in the last minute, we got a chance where we were supposed to finish. So I think I'm happy with the performance, even though the results were not that good.
What changed in that halftime talk for me? Because from there, it was a total different team from the one that started.
Yeah, our reaction in the first half was very poor. So we talked to the boys and they improved that. So I think the Tswanas felt the pressure in the second half.
Well done, coach, and I can only wish you the best going forward.
Thank you so much, Sean.
And once again, of course, I do have the coach of Botswana, Mr. Mpote, who is huffing and puffing after a very tough second half. Mr. Mpote, what would have gone wrong from a game that I thought you were in total charge, but something went in that second half?
Yes, a high tactical game, Like I said, I will always respect Coach Dominic. You'll see the first half we were in total control, of course, yes. Yeah, when you are leading, expect a pressure because they will come at you. So it's how you observe the pressure.
Yes.
Yes. Now, with inexperienced boys that I brought, it was more tough for them. And the other thing is, if they attack, then you win possession, then you just balloon it. It will come seconds to you. But I did tell them that no, guys, we are going the second half, and I know they will come at us. What we can do, to absorb pressure, is to regain possession and try to make some negative passes so that they get organized. And if they're organized, that's when you can have them because they know now they are behind the ball. That's where we can have them. But if we win the ball and start placing the ball out up front there, it will just come to you, and in some seconds they'll be attacking because you are more like losing possession.
Coach, thank you very much. And there's only 2 games to still go for, and I can only wish you the best. It's not going to be any easy.
Thank you. Of course, yes, it will be the most toughest South Africa and Namibia. As you know, we always fight for that supremacy.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Well, it's cold out there, but they've come out to enjoy the football and they won't stay on until later on. Reason being, it's South Africa up against Namibia next. Stay with us. We kick off at 6 o'clock this evening. One to look forward to as the 2 former champions square off. They go toe-to-toe and blow for blow.